Hello and welcome to this video. I'm going to walk you through now exactly what I've been doing in site review, and a couple of key things I want to add is I always start with their website, just kind of back a little bit like this so I can bring it forward in the early stages, and this really will grab their attention from the outset. And I always make sure that my video is in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and this will help get the bonding and the trust factor involved. And the first thing I do is just really congratulate, say thanks for signing up, big step, well done for wanting to take your website onto the next level. It certainly is the way to go in this digital age, and the quicker you get started, the quicker you're going to start seeing the results, and the harder that your competition is going to have to work. So do a little bit of an introduction, and then, as I said, now I bring the website to the full screen, if you like, and I don't dwell now too long here. I just jump in, and if you actually go view developer, I'm in Chrome now, and if you go view source, it's different in each browser, but I always do that. I bring up, get the source code, and then I can straight away start looking at their HTML, and you can almost feel them watching you and thinking, what's he talking about? This is crazy. I don't even, is that what my website looks or looks like? And you can just scan down, you can see, have they got things like Google Analytics installed? In this case, they have. So perhaps ask them, hey, send me across your analytics report. Be great to have a look at your stats, see how much traffic you're getting, the kind of things you're being found for. If you can give me that information, we can maybe look through it and work out how we can make it a little bit better and work for your business. You also have a look up here, and you can zoom right in. Now I use ScreenFlow, which is absolutely beautiful to work on, and I know that you can do a lot of things in Camtasia, so you'll have to kind of improvise here depending on how techie you are and how much time you want to spend just kind of refining these skills. But the important thing is to bring up their description and explain to them that this is more often than not the snippet that shows up in the Google search results page. And at the moment you can say, well, look, you've got your brand name in there, which is good, you've got some keywords, which is great, and then you can start just suggesting things, just saying, why don't you make it a little bit more engaging, or at the end, put your phone number in there, or give them a reason to actually click the link. And really all we're doing now is just getting authority across and trying to win them over a little bit. And by doing or giving away results in advance, you're not worrying about selling, so it's easy, it's very casual. They've never seen anything like it, so they're kind of thinking, oh, WTF, and all you're doing is being super cool. So really good way of just getting them over. Then the next thing I do is I have a look at their keywords, and I copy and paste those, and then I don't really talk about them. If they haven't, quite a lot, you'll be surprised, people don't even have the keywords and description filled out. Now obviously Google doesn't heavily use the keywords anymore in the meta description, but I always say it's a great place just to kind of pinpoint and remind yourself what you're actually going for in the search engines. And just because Google doesn't index them, other search engines or use them, other search engines do, so it's important to have them actually in there. So pop over then to Google Insights for search, which is just google.com/insights, and you can just tap in the keywords here, filter it down depending whatever country they're in, or if they're an international business, leave it set to worldwide, click search, and then you can just get this instant graph here. And guaranteed, once they look at that and you start explaining to them, you say, well, hey, look, this is incredible, this market's just bottoming out, it's, you maybe need to seriously consider a change in direction, start trying to find some more products that are actually going to be more relevant to the upcoming next couple of years, because at the moment you're almost fighting a losing battle in this case. I can help you do some keyword research, you've got an upsell straight away. But the important thing is you're, again, getting your authority across. They've never seen anything like this, and for you to take the time out to do a quick scan, which 9 times out of 10, if you get a go and have a meeting with them, you'd do this anyway. And even, worse than that, you'd not only do this, you'd have to write a report, where at least this way, it's just real time. And as long as you're just talking to them and being casual, you don't need to actually go off and create lots of PDFs or anything like that. So going back, you can instantly show them the actual interest of the market. And then what I find is a really good ender to this section is you can have a look at the rising searches and the top searches. Now, again, if you're using ScreenFlow, make sure to kind of zoom it in and out and just keep their interest level quite high. Once you start kind of waffling on or talking about boring stuff, they're going to go. So, or you're going to lose them. You're going to lose that kind of moment of truth, as we've already covered. But again, it's a good idea. You just have a look at their rising searches, and then you can just make suggestions and say, well, hey, you're going for this keyword. Why don't you change it for one of these keywords? You can see the market's better. I can help you do that. All we need to do is, just get on Skype and have a discussion about it, and we can go from there. So you're not really selling them anything as of yet, but you're kind of warming them, if you like, to some of the things that they need to be doing, and almost regard them as a friend, and that you're just helping them out. So once you've done that, only takes a couple of minutes to go through. I always like to jump into the markup validation service. Good example, look, 22 hours, 10 warnings. They're instantly going to be like, oh, I need to get that sorted. I didn't even know that existed, but obviously it's quite important now. As we all know, it's not the most important thing. And you can be quite hardcore with this concept and say, look, you've got to get this sorted. I'm generally a little bit more casual with it. I'll just say, it's a bit like having a sports car. And if you're trying to win a race, it's best to have that sports car as tuned as best as possible. So not essential, but it's a good idea to start looking at all these errors, and you've literally got a checklist here of work that you can do for them. So that's pretty cool in itself. You could just ping it off to a developer. Perhaps you are a developer. You can get them to give you an exact quote because the whole specification is written for you. So you can straight away, you've got something that you can sell them in the future. But really, don't dwell on it too much. Again, the idea here is just getting your authority and trust across. And if you kind of almost scare them a little bit and then say, oh, you've got a lot of errors, it's all right, it's not going to be affecting you that bad, but you might spot things, cross-browser problems, things like that you can then just implant into their mind of work that you can do. So you're going to get that check even quicker. So once I've done that, obviously every site is different. I always jump back to the site and I have a look. So in this case, I'll say, you've got an old looking site. There's nothing really special. There's a lot of information. When I land on your site, there's no call to actions. There's, you've got one up here. In fact, you've got, Foamy, which is great. Why not put an email opt-in form? As I've already said in the last video, you can say, well, hey, you can see it working. We're now engaging and communicating with each other using email and video. So why not put a welcome video on saying, opt in, get our latest price list, or any kind of reason, just freestyle it really. But you can, again, so not only you're basically warming them, if you like, to say, this would be a perfect website redesign. You could encourage email marketing, putting them in. If we scroll down, no social media, nothing really exciting. Products have already kind of going down. Market's not very good. This, you could be looking at a complete whole revamp, if you like, of the website. Now, again, don't sell anything here. Just make suggestions as if you were talking to a good friend of yours. The key call to action now is to say, get on Skype. I've just gone to get on Skype to have the nice page in, and they're working now. Their CSS was down. So pull this up, say, hey, get on Skype, download it. It's free. Lots of cool things I want to talk to you about. If you do it on Skype, it's free. You've got a direct line, and that way you're not only have you got their email address, you've got their Skype. And if they haven't used Skype yet, you're instantly again your authority level is going to go even higher, because it is such a great tool. We're going to talk about in the next video how to actually do the pre-sale and what you do on Skype with them, and there's lots of nifty little things. If they haven't got Skype and they don't want to Skype, that's fine. You know, you're just going to have to pick up the phone and do it that way. But the key thing is here is you want to have that real communication with them, because the whole point of the next level or the next stage is to actually get ready for the pre-sale, so you can start listening to them and finding out exactly what they want, what their budget is, what their timescale restraints are, what they may be interested in, things that they definitely don't want to be. So when it comes through to the actual pitching, you've done everything. You've got your authority across, your trust, your bonding. You've given them, which we'll talk about in a second, some results in advance. So there's no reason now not to actually pick you. None of your competition are doing this, so you're going to be top dog in the actual equation. So hopefully you've enjoyed this example of a site review, and I'll see you in the next module.